All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect to the nation of Israel. And I was just thinking about all this war stuff that's going on, man, and how war's on the horizon, and it's gonna spread across the whole face of the earth, man. And I was just thinking, man, it's very good that this is happening because it's finally gonna give like all of these like all you women out there in this world, you should be cheering and happy and celebrating that this is happening because it's finally going to give you the chance to show men that you don't need them, like you've been saying for all these years. You know, you're finally going to get to show all these men that are dusty, that ain't ish, right? You're going to finally get to show them you don't need no man, you don't need no plan, you can do bad by yourself, right? First of all, yada yada yada, you ain't nothing like your daddy and all that. You're gonna finally get to show him what you're working with around here, man. You're gonna finally get to show those wicked, dirty men, them dusty bums, that you don't need them because you can do it all on your own. So you're gonna have the AK, you're gonna have the AR, right? You're gonna be flying the things, you're gonna be having a chance to be all up in the midst of the man battlefield, competing against men, and show that you're greater. Isn't it amazing? Isn't it amazing and beautiful that the Heavenly Father Yahweh is finally giving you women the attention that you so drastically was asking for and the attention that you deserve to prove your point on how strong and independent you are and how tough you are in comparison to men, and how really the so-called black woman is the leader of our nation and how we ain't nothing. Like, I think like you should be all cheering from the rooftops in America, Babylon the Great, because you're finally getting a chance to show how amazing you are. Like, it couldn't have happened to a nicer set of women that you find that you finally gonna get a chance to just show that you're just like it, man. You know what I mean? You're just a 10. You know what I mean? And I hope that 10 spreads to combat skills, because you're a 10 and you don't need no help with attractiveness. You're already a 10 on that. You got that pattern. You know what I mean? So then you're probably a 10 with the hands too. Probably a 10 in like dodging mines. Probably a 10 driving tanks. You know what I mean? 10 dodging bullets. You're Neo out here. You know what I mean? We ain't nothing. We ain't nothing out here, man. But y'all, whoo, man. Remember, a load of them consciousness community simps was telling you that you're God. So on the battlefield, you're gonna get to show it, right? Like, it's finally coming closer and closer that all you queens out there, yeah, all you strong queens, yeah, you queen empress, are gonna finally get the chance to show what it do, to do what it do on the battlefield, man. Like, it's coming, it's finally here, like it's finally right round the corner. Like, isn't it amazing? It's beautiful, right? Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 9, rise up you women that are at ease. You know what I mean? You don't no longer have to be in your soft girl era. You're gonna have to finally get it shaking and moving, man. Like, it's beautiful, right? You're gonna finally get the chance to just you put down the twerking moves and find out, like, show that, you know, them punches that you do, you know, them punches that you women do, and you have your little world star fights and you hit with the fingers rather than with the knuckles. You're gonna finally get to show that that's actually the better technique and how to throw a punch. You know them fights that y'all have when you go beach, 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 beach. You got me fucked up, beach. You're gonna finally get to show that that technique would actually take you to being an MMA champion if applied to the UFC. But you so-called black women hood rats, you don't want to really be in the UFC, so y'all just take it to the streets. But if you did want to, you'd transcend it and you'd like change the techniques, and people wouldn't be worrying about jujitsu. They'd be worrying about Eve hood rat fighting technique. You know what I mean? The fingertips, the fingers punch, man. Where you, instead of hitting with the knuckles, you hit with the fingers, just above the fingertips. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's amazing that it's finally, Yahweh's finally gonna give you women a chance to prove yourselves, man. You know, like how all them Hebrew Israelites that y'all say ain't nothing. Well, it seems they was right, and you're finally gonna get the chance. Everyone's gonna get their chance, but no, You beautiful black queens out there, you're gonna get the chance to finally prove you don't need no man. Isn't it amazing? Like, I think it's a beautiful thing that Yahweh's finally giving y'all a chance to step up and show that you don't need it any man. Like, it's amazing, I think. I can't wait to see it personally. I can't wait to see it, man. And over here in the UK too. I can't wait to see you Eve hood rats really show all your worth. You know what I mean? When these societies start to go dark, I can't wait to see y'all twerk your way into surviving. It's gonna be beautiful, man. Verse 10. Many days and years shall be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. But don't worry, because y'all a strong, independent queen, so you're gonna escape the trouble. You'll be all right. You know what I mean? Because you can twerk. So twerk, as we all know, twerking heals everything, don't we? Don't we? Or unless it don't, of course. But that seems to be one of the main hobbies of you so-called black women. So you're gonna get to prove it, man. You're gonna get to prove your worth, man. Verse 11. Tremble, you women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the teach, for the present fields, for the fruitful vine. And now enough for the joking. You women are gonna suffer in the time to come. You ain't all just gonna be able to find a man that's some sucker that's prepared to help you escape judgment that you deserve. And all that running of your mouth that you've been doing over the last couple of years, all this stuff that all these women that be seeing these famous guys in Babylon the Great, and they be hogging up, trying to hog up on men that don't really care about them. They're just being nice to try and keep a certain image, like, and they're just like all these thirsty, adulterous women, man. You're gonna get served up in the time to come, man. America is gonna be the worst place on earth very soon, and only men that are Hebrew Israelites, right, that believe the true certain doctrine of the Bible, right, and women that are prepared to bow down to them, and I'm saying it like that straight up. Women that are prepared to bow down. Now, if you think you don't need to do that, okay, don't then. Don't then. Yeah? Tell them, I ain't finna bow to you. You ain't my daddy. You ain't my pappy. All right, tell them that then. If you think you ain't gonna actually have to bow to men in America, Babylon the Great, that are Hebrew Israelites, that understand a certain true doctrine, and that you can try and find a survivor with some man that's a tall, strong guy, versus a man that might not be as tall, but he's backed by the Heavenly Father, well, you go ahead. Because I'm gonna tell you like this, even if you do bow to that man and try and humble yourself, he still might tell you, kick rocks, I don't want to know. But you're gonna have to come towards them humble with any chance to receive any chance of salvation. Because y'all ain't been learning no doctrine. So you definitely ain't covered off your faith in Yahweh in that way. And then the same thing goes for men anywhere else in the world. And if I'm gonna tell you like this, the men ain't just gonna be so gleeful that you're showing up, like they've just been waiting all their life for a woman that's been drilled out hundreds of plus times in the world before they see him. They're gonna be like, ugh, no thanks. Like, I don't really fancy you being the first batch of women that I try and make my children in the kingdom be born from. I ain't really feeling that, like, nah. Do you know what I mean? They're gonna be picky. They're gonna be thinking in their mind, near a 10 in that day, man. The men of the Lord, they're gonna be the 10 in that time. And women are gonna be catching hell after hell and L after L out here, man. Right? But at the same time, you're finally gonna get your chance to prove just how strong you are, man. Like, it's amazing that it's finally getting closer and closer that you women are gonna get the chance to prove how strong you are. You know what I mean? I mean, like, all you so-called black women really should be fighting, should be at the front lines of an American army, because America's been, like, helping you. It's really helped you. You've been loving America. You've been loving America to how it's allowed you to screw over your men of your nation. You've always been there. Every single time Esau's gave you any extra little power to fuck over the men of your own nation, you always took it. You never was like, nah. or took the power and reversed it and helped it and used it to strengthen you, man. You was always there to try and use every advantage you could to destroy your man or your nation. But when Yahweh's starting to now give us our power back, because we're going to be the next and final rulers of this whole universe, a lot of you are not going to get it in this go round. You're going to have to perish, man. And the women that you used to look down on and say are pygmies, they're going to be your mother in the kingdom. You're going to be their daughters or granddaughters or great-granddaughters, man. You're going to be lesser than them in the kingdom. Women that you right now will say are ugly, even though you've had all kinds of cosmetic surgery to even look like what you look like now, and you're coming more like Freddy Krueger still, even though you've had all this surgery and with them big fish lips, looking simple as hell. But anyway, Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 1, and in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel, only let us be called by thy name, to take away our reproach. So that don't sound to me like the women are going to be just on some strong independent business. Just because a lot of you women have got it messed up, that just because you're man-sized, that you've got a man's strength, you weigh 185 pounds, you weigh over 200 pounds, but you ain't about that life. Yeah? You're just not about that life. Because even most men ain't even about that life. I watched some boxing match earlier. Just a little few, just like the Charleston White versus one of these Iron Boys, and I was disgusted. That was absolutely abysmal. Absolutely disgusting. I knew how to throw a punch better than that. When I was about 13 years old, I think I would have been able to whoop them both at the same time, man. When I was about 13, and I'm not joking. And I ain't even the best when it comes to fighting, but I think at 13 years old, I would have been able to whoop both of them at the same time. Now, I might be wrong on that. I might be right too. And considering these people ain't gotten, like, considering Charleston White's a scoffer, right? And he don't believe in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, and you know the island boy with all the tattoos on his face, he don't believe in the Lord neither, right? Well, what have they got to hope on then? What have they got as their backing to get out of the time to come? Because it ain't the Lord. So they're going to have to be using themselves. And that's what you got. That's the best you got physically within your own self. Okay, people are going to be able to have access to weapons and stuff like that in that time if they're able to get them. But mate, like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know, bro. I ain't really, you ain't got it physically. And if there was any way that it wasn't even about the Lord, which it is about the Lord and who's going to get salvation, but if there was any way that it wasn't just about the Lord, there'd have to be some kind of physical element in it. And women ain't got the physicality. That's why they always play men against each other in this world. And you men that are suckers, you always fall for the bait. But the time's coming where women are going to get jacked up. There ain't going to be no woman that's just able to set two men against each other and then stand on the sidelines and just look at the destruction she's caused. No, you're going to get into it as well. There ain't going to be no more situation where a woman's able to, oh, I'm calling my brother, or I'm calling my this, or I'm calling my that. No, you ain't going to get the chance to call no one. You think that the person's just going to stand there while you call somebody to try and come and do them harm? They'll snatch the phone at your hand and then it's game over. This is the way that the world's getting ready to turn for you evil women out here, man. For you evil women. It's not going to be going nice for y'all. And for you evil men too, judgment's coming for you. Don't think just because you're tough and you might have hands and you got a little crew that you're going to escape neither. 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 14, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, all of y'all. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand to fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So it's gonna be there's gonna be some form of strength element in this what's taking place, man. Not for those that believe in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. We ain't gonna have to rely on our own physical strength. It tells us in the scriptures not to glory in our own might. But for those of you that are not believers, you're gonna have to rely on you to try and escape what's coming, and that's not gonna work. By the way, but you're gonna have to rely on yourself. So if you're a woman and you think, oh, I can manipulate men to try and get them to feed me and help me in this time, all right, try it then. Try and see if you're gonna be able to come to a man and give him an attitude. I don't really fancy eating tins of beans in the apocalypse. Then you got no filet mignon. And you got no, I can't even do this shit now. That's dead. You can't do it. Mate, you know what will happen? You'll be thrown out of whatever survival environment they've brought together and can't let out for the wolves, man. The standards of what kind of woman is going to be able to be around men and be given protection by a man is going to be so high. Most of you women are not going to be able to handle it, man. Because why the hell would a man put his life at risk for you? Men are already against doing that to a certain degree now. Men have had enough of you women now, really. Even the men that are handsome in this world, they're tall and all that. Even some of the way how they look at some of you women are like, oh man, what's this bitch talking about, man? When you hoes try and go up to them when they're filming a YouTube content and that, they're looking like, man, what's this hoe want, man? But I true say I don't want to talk bad about her because like it makes me money though. But man, this bitch is a weirdo. You can see it in their face. They're looking at you and like, oh man, another stupid hoe coming up to me chatting shit, man. I don't want to talk to this bitch, but all right, I'll give you. Oh yeah, I'll call you, yeah. But they ain't gonna call you. They don't even like, even the men that get women don't even like a lot of you women, man. In this world, that's how unlikable you have became. Even the men that don't have a need to even necessarily say anything bad about women, even they can still see that y'all y'all are demons, man. Understand me? Verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. You ain't gonna be able to just gallivant and get flown out. You ain't gonna be able to, oh, I'm low on money, but I know that them Arabs, if I can get to Dubai and I'm gonna go to that underground Twitter that I know about and that underground Insta, and I'm gonna message them. I'm gonna message them a camel emoji and a dookie a dookie emoji, and they're gonna know what that means. And I'm gonna type in 50000, and that means a camel dookie time in Dubai, Dubai Harry Potters, and then they're just gonna give me 50k straight off the back of that. And then I'm gonna come home to either like the Midlands or London, and I might be saying, oh, I can't stand it. You know what? One thing I can't stand about a man, is a broke pocket man. These times you had some Alibaba ass motherfucker Nutella all on your head, bruh. But you got the nerve and audacity to come home acting stush. Do you know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about? I can't stand a broke pocket man, I can't, mate. I can't stand a Nutella on her head woman. But you don't hear me complaining, do you? Like, wait, just wait, man. All you brothers out there, elders, apostles, all these filthy scumbag women in the past that have been talking all this smoke. Every one of us men that have been really hoping to see women get humbled, man, we're gonna get to see it as long as we're on the earth, man. It's gonna be beautiful when they really find out, when Eve really finds out she fucked the nation over. She betrayed all of the nation to try and have her little happiness and try and think that she was a so-called white woman. That's what she basically did, especially Eve in Babylon. She traded in the whole happiness of her whole nation, the happiness of the men, the honor and integrity of the men, the honor and integrity and the happiness of her own children, her son and her daughter, for her own happiness so that she can get a baby, dirty stinking baby, and have her batty stinking like hot dog water. Yeah. Her batty stinks like hot dog water now. Yeah. She's got tweezed off eyebrows. She's got her stomach fat in her glutes. She got a few chains. She got a Birkin Hermes bag, right? And then she's just telling men that they ain't nothing now. And no man wants to deal with her as well at the same time. And she's wondering why. But she spent most of her time telling men that they ain't nothing. But she's wondering why they don't want to deal with her. Then calling men sellouts for dealing with other nations of women. But then when she deals with Esau behind the scenes, flies out to Arabs' yachts to get Nutella on her head, then that ain't a problem though. She ain't a sellout. She ain't a sellout for making man Nutella on her head. Dishonoring her whole nation, all their forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You know what I mean? Dishonoring the whole new covenant and the whole old covenant, everything about that. Dishonoring everything, all the blessings, dishonoring everything, man. Dishonoring all the Exodus story, everything that we've ever went through as a nation by doing that disgusting acts and vile acts. But you're a sellout. But she ain't a sellout though. She's gonna realize she sold her whole nation out, man. And she's gonna be sitting, you know what? Let me get it, man. She's gonna be really sitting on that ground, man. She's gonna be sitting on that damn ground, crying. Yeah. And if you've got a problem with the videos on women, well, just bear one more, man. Bear it one more time, because this is a heavy topic in terms of the whole thing that's gonna prove where we're at in prophecy, man. When you start to finally see these Eves humbled completely, oh, just know Yahweh Shai is coming closer to being on the earth too. This is going to be a catalyst that's going to show that Yahweh Shai is closer. Just like how World War III is, the MOTB, Eve being humbled, man. Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 25, that men shall fall by the sword, and I mighty in the war, all the mighty men of Israel that are not of the elect. Right, there are the 2/3, to use that term, which is the fitting term if we're talking about a Babylon the Great. All the 2/3 in America, right, of the Israelite men that are mighty and that, they're gonna perish, man. All the people that gassed you women up and gave you the time of day when really you wasn't even worthy. All you men that was able to date these NBA players and these mighty men of old, that these modernized mighty men that are NBA players, NFL players, and that, and they kind of like you a bit now because was able to get a cosmetic surgery on your chest, a cosmetic surgery on your ass, and you think you're a bad beat when you don't look like that. Like your lips don't look like that, your face don't look like that, your nose don't look like that. You've chopped and changed. You're really Frankenstein, but you think you're fine as hell because you're able to know where the richest so-called high-value men people are in the town, and they will be around you for the smash. But they ain't really vibing with you. And the moment you say too much, you're gonna find yourself dipped from. And then you go to another guy and he'll smash too. Because he's like, man, I heard she freaky. So he'll smash as well. And then he'll bounce. And then the next guy, you're gonna show up to him. And guess what? He'll smash too. Because he heard you're a bit freaky too. And then guess what? You'll say the wrong thing to him and he'll bounce. And then guess what? There'll be another ninja around the corner and he'll smash too because you're a freaky one. But they don't love you though because you're not lovable and you're not likable and you're a demon. Straight up and straight down, man. Right? Verse 26, her gate shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. There's going to become a clear difference between a worthy woman and an unworthy woman real soon on earth, man. And her gate shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. You men are going to just be distraught, man. All that getting flown out stuff's going to be gone. You ain't going to be able to go into another city. Never mind another country. You're going to be cordoned off, man. And all the men that you used to try and downplay and say, I'm tired of boys. This is how y'all talk. I'm tired of boys from my city. They don't really be knowing how to treat a woman. I've been on so many dates. You've told the guy that you're a hoe now. All these men that I used to deal with don't know how to. What you mean, all these? How many is it? Huh? All these men. You talking about? All these. You're only in your 20s. What you mean, all these? All what? Your gates are going to lament and mourn. Never mind you, one man in your 30s and you men in your 40s and you crows in your 50s and 60s. Even some of y'all are demons too, man. Y'all were fighting too. Don't think now you can try and come with some Betty Crocker thing now because you're old and your Aunt Bessies now. Nah, used to be Aunt Fotties back in the day. You know what I mean? Don't try it, man. People always, when they see old people try and go, like, oh, they're just not, mate. There was probably a demon from back a day, man. Till now. Verse 26 again, her gate shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. You're going to be made to pay for all your pride, man. It's coming closer and closer. And you've still got the chance, there's a silver lining, you've still got a chance to try and humble yourself to the Lord first and apologize to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai for how you dishonored him by not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, and how you admitting that you sinned against him. But then you're going to have to also admit that you sinned against the men of your nation too. And that's the reason why y'all can't grow hair on average. I ain't never seen a so-called black woman prepared to admit that. The reason why most of y'all can't grow no hair is because of your stinking attitudes. You're going to admit it. There's still time. You can soften up yourself and not be proud. Some of you women that are your kind of, you know that your friends are hoes. You could try and, you know, not hang around with them and find some new friends. Hang around with some nerdy women that like cooking and baking instead of the ones that like twerking on the top of a car that ain't theirs. They see a parked car, they jump on it. Hey, ba, 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 ba. Mate, that's not really the one out here, man. That's really dead, bruv. But y'all, something about you likes that? Like, nah. You're gonna have to let that go. You know how the men have to let things go too. We've got things that we've wanted to do. And we're always made to have to not do what we want to do. Well, you women are gonna have to not do some of the things that you want to do as well. Or don't, and just get jacked up, man. But I just wanted to make this video because a lot of you women are gonna find out that you should have watched your mouth concerning the Israelite man. I'm gonna end it there. Shalom.